Hello Gemini and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at what you are dealing with in 2025, where your energy is at right now moving into the new year, and what you need to know and expect in 2026. As always, just a friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully with everyone, and they won't resonate fully with everyone, so do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Gemini, let's jump on in. We're going to start with overall energy through oracle cards first. So we're going to look at the energy for your past year for 2025, current energy right now moving into the new year, and what you need to know and expect moving into 2026. So let's start with the energy of 2025. What have you guys been dealing with here, Gemini? Surrender to the divine. With confidence is your key to success. So, Gemini, you're exhausted. I feel it in the energy. You're exhausted, and you've been putting a lot of energy and effort into making something work, making something happen, building something. And I feel like you've been experiencing a lot of resistance along the way. And honestly, I feel like your energy is feeling really depleted right now, really drained. I feel like I don't necessarily think you've given up on anything. I don't really know if you guys have that in you. But I do definitely feel that this energy is very... it's like I don't know where to go from here. Or I don't know. I'm just kind of tired. I don't know what's going on here, and we'll dive more into like the actual situation as we move into tarot, but I don't know if this is in regard to like your love life, or I mean, it could be anything here. Let's look at your current energy. A career. It's like feeling like you're doing everything right. And that's the hard part here, is I feel like you're looking at it, you're like, I feel like I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything that I feel like I'm supposed to. And just feeling like you're not getting where you want to go or feeling the way that you desire to feel. Whoa. Show the world the real you. Your commitment is being tested. You're being drawn to a redirection here. You're being drawn to a redirection because I feel in having to do... You're trying to push it down. It's like, no, I'm good, I'm fine, it's fine, we're good, I'm good. And it's almost like it's hard for you to ignore that there needs to be a shift, or that things need to change, or that something needs to change. And I think that a big part of that is because you've been working really hard to make things change, right? So I feel like it started to you to feel that, this is just kind of how things are. It's always going to be like this. I'm always going to struggle, or I'm always going to feel this way, or I'm always going to experience these things. But I almost feel like your soul is being driven to some sort of a wake-up call. And it's not a wake-up call that's negative. It's almost a wake-up call to your potential, and not just the potential that you carry in like your capabilities, but I mean like the potential of the life that you are capable of experiencing. Because I think that I can feel it. You're very committed. It's like doing all the right things and showing up and committed. I'm doing the things. I'm checking the list, But it's like, but I'm not getting anywhere. I don't feel any better. I don't feel the way I desire to feel. So it's almost like that commitment to everything around you, to the relationships in your life, to the career, the jobs and responsibilities. It's almost like in the process of all of this, you've stopped committing to yourself. to your own happiness, to things that bring you joy and make you feel good. And I think that it's almost like you can't ignore it anymore. So I feel like somebody, I'm talking to, you could be kind of struggling with mental health a little bit, just, burnout, just feeling just mentally, emotionally, and physically just exhausted. I think this it's not necessarily been a bad year for you, I don't necessarily think. I think it's just been like it's been challenging, or the word exhausting just keeps coming to mind. So what do we need to know moving forward? What do you need to know and expect in 2026? Don't let your past hold you back. It's time to release negativity and a time for healing. This is the energy of some sort of an awakening. And I said it here, like a wake-up call. But it's like this awakening to, there are certain things about your life that you can't ignore anymore. Things that aren't making you happy, things that aren't aligned, things that don't feel good. And I think that, like I've said, you've been trying to do your best to ignore it and push it to the side. I think because you don't feel like you have other options. I have to do this. I have to go to this job every day, or I have to whatever. But in 2026, it's almost like it's like you're forced to look for other options. It's almost like, and not in a bad way. It opens your energy up to more abundance, more freedom, more peace. But it's like it's a path that's very unexpected. And it frees you. There's this freedom here. There's freedom here. So I don't know what this is talking about or what this is referring to. I mean, all these cards I just realized are purple. Purple is, kind of the crown chakra, divine energy here. So I do feel like there's something very spiritual about this reading, or about what's coming through in these messages. So that's kind of why I got like a spiritual awakening of sorts or something. Overall theme of this reading here for you, Gemini. You could be seeing the numbers 7 a lot in repetition. Okay, look at that. Good fortune. So this is where you're being led to. Good fortune, more abundance. Spiritual cleansing. But it does require you to cleanse out what I feel has been draining your energy. Because your energy has been being drained. And it's almost like it's being used as a resource for people who don't deserve it. People who don't value you or appreciate you or compensate you appropriately. Something along those lines. And this is waiting for you. But it's blocked right now. The good fortune is waiting for you, but it's blocked right now. Because it's on the other side of whatever's draining your energy, which is why I feel like it's time to release negativity. It's almost like, I feel like this sounds scary, so I'm going to say it, I'm going to elaborate on it, but reaching like some sort of a breaking point, not in a bad way. I mean, it might feel uncomfortable, but this breaking point where you're like, you know what? No. Like, that's what it kind of feels like. I'm not doing this. I'm not existing in these spaces anymore. But let's see. Let's break it down further. Let's see what you guys have been dealing with here, Gemini. Because I feel like you are doing all the right things. I think that that's very true here. But even if you show up perfectly, right? Even if you make 0 mistakes and, you're perfect 100% of the time, if you're on a path or dealing with situations that are misaligned, it's still not going to, you're not going to find fulfillment there. You're not going to find peace and freedom there. And I think that your soul is really craving specifically freedom. Your soul is specifically craving freedom. What about this past energy here for you, Gemini? 3 of Cups in reverse. It's this energy of feeling really disconnected. Disconnected from the people around you. Disconnected. And I think it's because there's such burnout here. Just like I said, emotionally and mentally and just physically so drained that it's almost like whatever you've been dealing with, it's been taking up so much of your time and your energy that it's like you haven't had time and energy to do things that you enjoy or things that make you happy or feel good. And I think that you've just kind of been putting your head down and just doing it. And you feel like you've been doing a pretty damn good job at it too. But there's a lot of anxiety here. A lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worries. I think you're trying to hold everything together. You've been trying to do everything right and hold everything together in this perfect way. There's a lot of fear associated with this. I don't know if it's like with the loss of it or with maybe not being... Actually, I want to clarify the 9 of Swords. The 4 of Wands. This isn't what you pictured. You got to where you wanted to go, or certain things happened that you desired, but it doesn't feel like you thought it would. And I think that that's why you're feeling a little bit lost. Because I think you are finding success, and I think you are, it's not feeling the way that you thought it would. So I feel like now, it feels like divine redirection. But it's redirecting you toward better. Current energy here for you, Gemini. Where are you sitting heading into the new year? Where are you at right now? Anybody in your shoes, you're probably going to take this time to relax, rejuvenate, recover, hopefully. Self-care is important right now. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're getting sleep. Make sure you're eating well, moving your body when you can, getting outside. Strength in reverse. There's a lot of self-doubt's the right word. Because I actually feel like you carry a pretty confident energy. I feel like you are confident in what you bring. And I think that that's why things have been so painful. Strength in reverse with the 3 of Swords. I want one more here. But I think that it's almost like you are starting to doubt. Because you're showing up in the best way that you know how, and you have been. And I think that you're struggling because it just feels like it's never enough. No matter how much you give, no matter how much you show up, it just feels like it's never enough. And it's kind of gotten you to this place of starting to really doubt your worth. Doubt whether or not what you have to give is enough. But the thing is I feel like then immediately you're like, but I know I'm good at my job, or I know I'm a good partner. Like those things are there, but it's like it just never feels like you experience situations that align with that, or that make you feel as if what you do have to give is enough. I feel like and this goes back to what I said. You can be perfect. You can show up perfectly for the wrong things, and it still won't be enough, because what is meant for you will never work. What isn't meant for you will never work if, no matter how hard you try or how hard you show up. So I feel like this is about, looking at things in your life that are draining your energy, friendships, communities, relationships, jobs, maybe there's a few different things, and really prioritizing your happiness, which I feel like sounds, it's like, well, duh. But to be honest with you, Gemini, I don't really feel like you've been doing that. I feel like you've been prioritizing obligations and responsibilities, but not your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And it's catching up to you. It's catching up to you. And I think that that's why there's such a shift here, because this, you have so much to bring to this world. Love, knowledge, joy, beauty, right? You have so much to bring to this world. The really loud plane in the background. But if you're in spaces that aren't going to appreciate or align with what it is that you're bringing, you're going to start to second guess the value that you bring instead of the spaces that you're in, right? It's like, it's funny, you hand someone a handful of diamonds, right? And they take those diamonds and they throw them in the trash. You're not going to sit there and go, what was wrong with the diamonds? You're going to go, why are you throwing something away so valuable, right? So when we give ourselves to situations or to people, and that thing doesn't value us, or it doesn't, make us feel the way that we desire to feel, or make us, feel loved or supported or, cared for or whatever, it's funny because instead of going, why is this thing not aligning with me? We go, why am I not good enough for this thing? And I think for you, as you're moving forward into this new energy, it's about rebuilding on a different mindset, or shifting into a different mindset, because right now you're sitting in an energy of hurt, right? Maybe feeling betrayed, feeling like you did everything right and it still wasn't enough. That's valid. Those feelings are valid. But it doesn't mean that the possibility doesn't still exist. But I do, especially with the death in reverse here, I feel like there's been some resistance to change. And I think that there's been some resistance to change for a while. And I get why. But I also feel that, and here's the thing, we're always going to make the best decisions for us at the best time on our journey. But your soul is calling you to so much more here. Peace and freedom and love. And there are certain things in your life that just are not providing you with the space or the energies that you need to cultivate a life built, and surrounded by those things. So getting honest about that is where you can break yourself free, because there's so much more abundance on the other side of this, whatever this is. What does Gemini need to know moving into 2026? And this is what I mean when I said it almost feels like you can't ignore it anymore. It's been easy to ignore it, to push it down, but I don't think your soul's gonna let you, which is kind of what a spiritual awakening is all about. It's where we start to kind of close the gap between what's going on in our conscious mind and what's going on within us. The High Priestess. Here you are. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, but there's the Queen of Swords. It's air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh, Gemini's putting their foot down in 2026. Six of Swords. You're putting your foot down. I love to see it. Because and that's what I said, reaching to this breaking point where you go, you know what? Enough's enough. And I think that, it's probably scary because there's so much unknown on the other side of this, but I feel like this opens you up to so much abundance. Like, where is this going to lead Gemini to? That's what I want to know. I know that's what you want to know. I feel like that's what the good fortune was trying to tell us here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Cups, because that's what this feels like. Whoa. The Sun, fulfillment, happiness, yeah. I mean, and there's the King of Swords to even clarify it even more. More happiness, more joy, more fulfillment. So it kind of feels like there's some sort of like awakening, a wake-up call, spiritual, I don't know. But it leads to you just being like, just putting your foot down, no longer allowing certain things into your life. And maybe that's a lot of what 2025 was about. And maybe that's why it's been so exhausting. Or maybe this exhausting energy leads you to that. Either way, that opens you up to way more fulfillment with the Sun. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting because I feel like it's so challenging. It's hard to believe things can get better. But this is where, this is what taking your power back is all about. Where you look at your life and you go, what's in my control? You stop giving your power away to what's out of your control. You start taking accountability for what's in your control. And I think that when we do that, we realize we have more power than we think, and we always have more options. We always have more options. Every time we think I don't have a choice, there's always a choice. I promise you, there's always a choice. It's easy to say there's not a choice because it's so much easier to stay the same. It's easier to stay in places where you're unfulfilled, to stay in places where you're unhappy. In fact, your ego loves that. Your ego wants you to stay exactly where you're at in the level of freedom and success and peace and joy and abundance that you're in. It likes the predictability. It likes the control. Your ego is actually very afraid of the happiness and joy and success that you deserve because it doesn't know how to exist in those spaces, right? Your ego is wired for survival. It wants you to be exactly how you've always been. But I feel like how you've always been isn't leading you to where you want to go. So now it's time to look at what where you can move differently. And I think that this, an exhausting 2025 is opening you up to a very fulfilling 2026, but there is a need to get honest about what needs to shift here. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages, looking at what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So looking at the tangible advice, diving into the messages deeper, and then I've got an advice card to pull for you from your spiritual team at the very end with my postcards from Spirit deck. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Gemini, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.